Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So happy to have you all here today. Let us actually, thank Ashish Prabhuji and Namita Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji, for inviting all of us and opening the doors for your home. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes. And today I got to hear that actually the kids actually made all the prasadam. Yeah, for as an expression of their love for their moms. Mother's Day is coming, right? So that's also amazing. Thank you, kids. No more kids, I guess. Yeah, and dads did the cleaning. Yeah, and we are blessed to have the wonderful presence of His Grace Srivatsanka Prabhuji and Mataji. Also, he is here. So happy to see you both. It's like having parents, Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji, for joining us. Wow, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So we would like to request you to kindly bless us and give us the permission to discuss Krishna Katha. Thank you, Prabhuji. Also, I usually don't get to directly serve my spiritual master, Sri Guru. But however, Sri Guru's representatives are there in the form of my God brothers. So I'll fall at their feet, His Grace. I fall at every one of your feet as well as my God brothers to seek their blessings so that I may speak for their pleasure and for the pleasure of the Vaishnavas and for the pleasure of Sri Guru and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So with that, we can actually get started. It's going to be a very interesting topic for today. I'll start with a small story. Once there was a very learned Brahmana. He was very, very learned. He was having perfect, just not the theoretical learning, but his conduct was also very, very pure. And whatever he says, whatever the mantras he recite, they were unmotivated and they were only for the pleasure of the Lord. And that's why they had so much of power in his words. And anything he says would happen. And as he was doing his, naimittikama karmas, as well as he's doing his nishta and bhakti, because he was a priest also, so he was always invited to many places, and he became very famous, very, very famous. And as he became very famous, obviously because he was being invited by all classes of society, naturally they started, it is important as grihasthas, very, very important, when we invite, the learned people or sadhus to our home, it's very, very crucial that we actually give some sort of a gift when they are leaving, in the form of some money to help them, or in the form of some kind of a help. We have to fruit, whatever we want to give, we have to always dakshina. It's called dakshina. We need to give that. That's very, very important. Now, of late, we have to even emphasize that, because the normal etiquette has been many times being forgotten. So as devotees, as grihasthas, we should always. Anyways, this Brahmana was invited for many places, and he was given these wonderful tokens of respect in the form of money and all. Though he was very, very strong in his spiritual practices, as the money started coming more and more and more, the Brahmana became little enticed by the wealth. And he started and he became, started pursuing some economic growth also because of that. He never deviated from his practices, but naturally the interest in the economic growth, in the interest of having, pursuing better, material happiness, started, creeping in. And of course, he was also a teacher, like I said, and hence he had many disciples. So one day he accepted a small kid as his disciple. And the kid had utmost respect towards his guru. And he would do anything and everything the guru says. And he was genuinely actually serving the guru. And he was learning all the, as a part of the Brahmacharya ashram. Brahmacharya ashram means a student phase of our life. So he learned everything from that guru. And he was very fast. He was a fast learner. And soon his diction, his knowledge, the depth of the knowledge that he had, everything was increasing exponentially. And soon, guess what? He also started becoming famous, even though he's a small kid. And very soon, what happened is, he has started being invited to do all the pujas and karmas in different places. And he was doing it genuinely as a service to his guru. But what happened is, slowly, that Guru Maharaj that teacher, that Brahmana, started feeling envious. Long story short, eventually that envy grew and grew. How can this person, the small kid whom I am teaching, is becoming so famous? And he eventually even led to the point of planning a way of killing that small kid. Some of you may be knowing, actually I told what you guys know or not. I told a movie story. This is a movie story actually. I didn't invented anything. So the reason I told this is because how much ever we learned, how much ever we have bhakti, right? How much ever we advance, yet, just like Ajamila, he was a perfect Brahmana, yet he was enticed into the beauty of the opposite sex and, he fell down. So there is a danger at every place in terms of, the spiritual path. And the reason that is happening is because of, even though we think that we are completely free, there are shackles that are actually binding us. There are shackles that are binding us. And namely, there are 3 types of shackles are there. Everybody, I think, must have guessed by now. What is it? Anybody knows? Oh, very nice. Good job. Yes. 3 modes of material nature. Mode of goodness. In Sanskritam, what is it called? Sattva. Mode of passion. In Sanskritam, what is it called? Rajas. And mode of ignorance. In Sanskritam, it is called Tamas. So these 3 are actually shackles. They are invisible chains that are binding us, but we don't know. Just like that Brahmana, initially he was in Shuddha Sattva, in the mode of goodness. He was in the Shuddha Sattva, then he became Sattva, and then he became Rajas because he was after fruitive economic growth. And then finally he fell down. Mode of Tamas, ignorance. So all these 3 things happened in his life. Why? Because he was shackled by 3 chains. So Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a chapter called Modes of Material Nature, I think 14th chapter. Yeah, it's very, very, the 14th, 15th and 16th are most practical applications of Bhagavad Gita. If you haven't read any parts of Bhagavad Gita, at least read those 3 three chapters. They are very, very directly practical applications of life, how we can apply Krishna consciousness. So in that, Krishna speaks very beautifully about living entity, the jiva. And he speaks that this jiva is conditioned. Is what? Is conditioned. Conditioned means, is conditioned by what? 3 modes of material nature. And is controlled. Conditioned means you are also controlled. Conditioning matlab kya hai? Agar if you make yourself comfortable in a room and you never come out of that room, and you set the temperature to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, let's say, or 70, and you live there like that for like 40 years, then the whole world for you is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and you never stepped out. There is no window, nothing. Whatever you experienced is what you think is the ultimate experience, ultimate truth. So that is called getting conditioned. If a small boy goes and puts his finger in the electric outlet and he gets a nice high, right, then he is conditioned. He knows that, okay, next time I will not put my hand. It's because of the past experience. The moment you show electric outlet, he will say, no, I will not put it. Even if the electric outlet is not connected to the powerhouse, yet he will not dare to. Because what? Who knows? Right? Because he is conditioned. So we get conditioned by these 3 gunas. What are the 3 gunas? Mode of passion and ignorance, or sattva, tamo and rajagunas. We are conditioned. Because you steal or you slap somebody, then immediately you get a reaction. We are conditioned. Okay, if I slap somebody, then I know that I will definitely get a slap. So everything is, is conditioned because of the past experiences. So Krishna talks about jiva, and that this jiva is limited and is controlled by these 3 modes. But it is not just enough to talk about only problem. It's also important that Krishna actually gives solution for that. So the next rest portion of the chapter, Krishna actually speaks about how one can actually become free from these shackles, from these chains, these 3 chains. He also gives the solution. Right? So that is what the entire summary of Bhagavad Gita, at a very 303 or 4,000 feet bird's eye view perspective of chapter 14 is. He is talking about jiva, and that this jiva is controlled and this jiva is conditioned by these 3 modes, and how to become free. This is the problem, this is the solution. Clear? Everybody is clear? Yeah? So let's go. Let's now go a little deeper. First, let's talk about the characteristics itself of these gunas. Okay? What are they? 3 gunas, right? Let's say if there is a job, nowadays we are seeing that Facebook is firing away, Google is firing people and all that. And there is obviously a lot of workforces in the market. Now, if there is one job opening is there, how many people rush? So many applications, right? Everybody knows, right? If you are looking for a job, right? Lot of applications. So everybody is rushing, lot of competition. So similarly, these 3 gunas are also, they are competing with each other. And who is the tool for them? As the jiva. Okay? So these 3 are competing. Sometimes the mode of goodness is higher. Suddenly some days, you feel like, just get up at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning and then just simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm talking about a conditioned soul like myself sometimes. But a lot of the devotees, my God brothers, they do it every day. But a conditioned soul like myself, struggling, right? I can't do it every day. So some days I'll do. Because mode of goodness won the competition. It's a competitive spirit between these 3 modes. Someday I feel like Rajas. Rajas means I'm actually preparing for a webinar. So I want to do this thing, I want to do that, and lot of Rajas. I want to code, I want to make a beautiful presentation. You must have seen when I walked in, so much of these cables and all this arrangement. That's all actually Rajas. So one has to know in which mode we are in. I'm creating big projects, I'm creating big products, I'm creating great things. And in that hangama, there is a lot of commotion. There is a lot of, like when we had a festival of, what is it? Festival of Joy. The Festival of Joy, so much of, arrangements to cook. Uncle, if you like, please sit on the top. Yeah? Yeah. But any moment if you feel, please feel free. Yeah. Auntie, meer kuda. Yeah. Yeah. Make yourself comfortable. Yeah. We will be together even there also. Maybe as our service, one of us can also sit along with you. Yeah. So we, the lot of commotion happens in the Festival of Joy. You're bringing that and that. And while the underlying thread is that we are all doing it for Krishna's pleasure, it's very easy because the shackles are very, very powerful. The chains are more powerful than us. They're not as powerful as Krishna, of course, but they are powerful. In fact, I was looking couple of weeks back, I stumbled onto an interview by a Navy SEAL. That guy was saying, as a part of the army, one of the soldiers' quality is to respect enemy. They have utmost respect for enemy also, because he is giving a strong fight. Right? He has utmost respect for the enemy, and then they will get into the field to fight. That is a Kshatriya spirit. So similarly, the reason I quoted that is because these modes are actually acting against us. And they are chains, they are invisible chains that are actually binding us. But yet, we have to respect them because they are the energy of the Lord. These modes are nothing but an expression of material energy. Expression of what? And material energy is nothing but, thank you, Prabhuji. Material energy is nothing but, as soon as I say the word energy, that energy is possessed by somebody who is called energetic. Everybody is with me? Energy implies energetic. Creation implies creator. There you go. Creation implies creator. Means this mic is there, matlab iska mic ka creator hai. Big Bang nahi hua hai. Creation, if we are seeing creation, everything that you are seeing around here, somebody must have designed it. Yes? True or false? True. So creation implies creator. Law implies lawmaker. You see law of gravitational force. There must be. If we can't explain it, that's different. That's our inability. Acknowledge that I have an inability to explain that. But law implies lawmaker. The moment you stop your car at the 4 traffic lights, there is a perfect pattern, right? Green aayega, then you will make a turn. When it's green, you'll go. When there is a yellow, you are preparing to stop. All that pattern is there perfectly, right? Intelligence implies intelligent. The moment you see an intelligent pattern, how many of you have written an AP exam for in chemistry? Yeah, she wrote chemistry. In the chemistry, between how do you measure the angle between 2 hydrogen atoms? What is the unit of measure?
It depends on how many there are. So if it's
2, let's say 2. Yeah,
180.
180. So there.
1, 2,
Yeah. So, but whatever I'm asking about the unit of measurement. Is the degree same?
degrees.
Okay. Now, if that degree decreases by 1, life does not exist between 2 hydrogen atoms and an oxygen. You say that it is coincidence? Just coincidence. Yeah, just I say you okay. Big Bang. Right? No, it is not coincidence. Life is not coincidence. It's maybe my inability, but doesn't mean it's a coincidence. Creation implies creator. Intelligence implies intelligent. Law implies law. Law of refractive index. Let's say if you put a scale in the water, when you see from outside, it appears as if it's bent. But it's a perfect law. There is a law. Did scientists went into a lab and then coded that law, and then now, when the apple fell on the head of Mr. Newton, people like us would have picked it and eaten it. But that guy questioned why it's there. And he gave a name for it. It's called gravitational force. I think it's, what is it called? G is 9.8 meters per second square, something like that, if you remember. Now, can anybody, you are measuring a principle that already exists in the creation. You did not invent anything. In fact, I remember in my 10+2, when there is a practical, I think that 9.8 never comes. It comes 9.788 something. That guy came and, just adjust karo yaar. He will ask you. So we may make adjustments like this, but actually the law is law. We may not be able to prove, but that exists, right? So what I'm trying to say is these shackles are very powerful. And these shackles, these chains need to be respected too. When we respect the energy of the Lord, then we understand that energy will show us where we are. So, first of all, what did I say? These modes compete with each other. Sometimes mode of goodness is on the top. Then sometimes mode of passion is on the top. Then you are doing all, and sometimes mode of ignorance is on the top. When the mode of ignorance is on the top, then ulta, exactly ulta. So let's actually see what are the characteristics of mode of goodness, for example. The people who are in mode of goodness, they aspire and always long to gain knowledge. Gain, fill in the blank. Knowledge. They want knowledge. They are seekers. And they want, if anything that you tell them, they will go deeper. They want to go deeper. They want to pursue that. That is the nature of people who are in the mode of goodness. Examples are these scientists, these philosophers, these poets, these artists. They are all in that. Sometimes, if Ustad Bismillah Khan comes and plays, or, anybody comes and plays, the normal guy, one who is just used to listening to heavy metal, he'll say, what is there, boring, right? You can't even connect to them. Because this guy is now in a different mode. He is listening to explicit language, and nowadays in Apple Music, and these youngsters know all this, Spotify and all that, right? They know. How many of you are Spotify members? Put a rating, filter them by E. Explicit. Especially Gaurang, apart from this Hare Krishna thing, he also is into this. What is that, this thing called? Rap, yeah. These guys are into all this. Anyways. So, because shackles, it's not just one person I'm saying, even I am into that. So, so mode of goodness, people are aspiring for knowledge. But there is a downside though. The downside is that these people who are living in Sattva Guna, they are actually doing almost negligible sinful activities in general. They're very pious, very composed, very, very, equipoised, disciplined and all that. But the problem is that actually leads to proudness. Unknowingly. That leads to, it gives a Sattva-guna feel of pious entertainment, And it gives so much of happiness for them. And unfortunately, because of that, they get settled there. That's the problem. It's like, think of in a jail, you have different cells, right? But if a roadside guy does something, they'll put him in the C-class cell, right? And those who have a bond of $100,000, maybe they'll put him in the B-class cell in the Frisco jail, for example. But if he's a politician guy, at least in India, I don't know if that distinction is made here. I think they do, even when the Trump was, they didn't want to put even handcuffs to him, right? Trump, right? So if Trump were to go to jail, he would be obviously given A-class cell. A-class cell means all facilities. Like, Jayalalitha was in the A-class cell for many years. She'll get a 5-star hotel lunch, breakfast, dinner. She'll get a newspaper. She'll have an LED TV. It's a jail, but she'll have all the facilities, air conditioning. All those things will be there. Because she's a politician. She is a big lady. But she has to go to the jail. So you understand, right? Whether you are in A class jail or B class jail or C class jail, you are still in the jail. Similarly, these gunas, whether I am very pious, educated, dharmic and all that, yet I am in the mode of goodness. But still I am in a class cell, which is better, no doubt. But I am not, I'm not like an exceptional person just because of that. But that creates, because I can quote Shastra, I can inhale and exhale in Sanskritam, and I can, win arguments easily, and I do very nishta bhakti also, for example. What happens? I am an advanced devotee. I am in mode of goodness, but I feel. This is called, they say, ISKCON terminology. What is it called? PDS. Anybody knows PDS? PDS. Pure devotee syndrome. अरे मैं भक्ति विक्षार leader हूँ, or I am chanting for the last 20 years. I know how to quote Shastra. So there is you will see in the language itself. If somebody comes, Prabhuji, what is the question? Any doubts? Yeah, I'll tell you how to do the projects. Like that. So that is called PDS. So that is a blocker for the people who are in mode of goodness. Everybody understood? Yeah. So we have to be very watchful. Even it is very important that we should be in the mode of goodness, no doubt. But we got to be watchful of these traits. Otherwise, we will get settled there. Yeah, part 1. That's part 1. Next one is mode of passion. In the mode of passion, the people are extremely attached. And they are continuously pursuing economic growth. They are continuously pursuing what? Economic growth matlab kya hai? Making more money. There is nothing wrong in it. But then, if that only becomes the life's objective and nothing else, that is the problem here. You understand? There are people, like great, wonderful devotees, examples. They are doing it, like Ambarish Maharaj, for example. Is Ambarish Maharaj a fruitive person? But he has all the riches of the world. He was the emperor of the entire world. But he is doing it as a seva service. In fact, for those devotees, great devotees, all these wealth and they are just caretakers. On behalf of the Lord, I am just caretaking this. Right? They don't feel ownership. Right? So those are devotees. But for the passion, I'm not talking about the devotees. Okay, I'm talking about regular people, outside people, passionate people, rajas. Continuously make money.
So
Prabhuji.
passion, rajas, it's in addition to money, it's a art also.
Yeah, correct.
Singing, dancing, anything.
Correct. Anything you do, correct, Prabhuji. Yes. I gave just because it is more emphatic example. Yeah, that's why I gave that as an example. But you're right. Anything kala also, but if that kala is an expression of if it is an expression of monetizing that, then it is passion. If you are doing it for Krishna, it's actually not even rajas. It is actually Shuddha Sattva. It gets transcend, suddenly jump. Anyway, so these are the people. Okay, they have uncontrolled desires. I want a Toyota. From Toyota, I want Hyundai. From Hyundai to Toyota. Toyota to Tesla. Tesla to Porsche. Porsche to Lamborghini. Like that. The continuous. I want one more. Uncontrolled. I have this model. No, I want that model. I want iPhone 13. No, 14. 14 Pro. No, 14 Pro Max. No, 14. You will get all those in continuous. That is called uncontrolled. That is also, the person is in the mode of passion. Okay. And they do intense endeavor to achieve those things. They do intense endeavor only for the sense gratification. Now, there is a very thin line of difference between the activities of devotional service and this. Devotees also do intense endeavor, but they do it very crystal clearly for the pleasure of the Guru and for the pleasure of Krishna. Those who do that and continuously remember, that is not a problem. Now, when it comes to sadhakas like myself, for example, and I'm continuously bombarded with these three gunas, even though I do very hard work, what happens is there is a trap. We think that it is Krishna consciousness. I'm doing it for Krishna only. I'm doing it for Krishna, but I have so many fights. I'm doing for Krishna. My mala should be worn by the Guru Maharaj. Especially when Guru Maharaj comes, the real test comes. It is actually not an event. Oh, my Guru has come to Dallas. It is not just that event of their coming. It is an event, that is the event of test. It is like, what is the exams that you guys are writing? AP exams or whatever, star exams. Guru Maharaj is coming, matlab, my examination is coming. There I want my Guru Maharaj only to eat my laddu. He should only visit my home. He should only speak to myself. Mike. My. He is only my Guru Maharaj. All these things will start. As an example. So as a sadhakas, that is it's a huge trap, and that's where we are examined. And that's why then I'll start picking up with fights with my God brothers and God sisters. Hey, you don't know how to serve. I know how to serve. I know what Guru Maharaj wants. You don't know. And these fights will come. Yeah? So so we have to be very, very careful. Who is playing in those roles? Even though you are Krishna conscious, even though you are doing service for Guru, which one is playing a role there? The invisible chains, mode of passion. Right? Lot of endeavor. And again, I'm giving lectures, but I am very, very much, succumbed to these three things. A mortal like myself, I'm always beaten by these modes. Every day my neck gets chopped off, even though I have this. So it's very important having this Kantimala. Even a simple, as soon as I make a phone call, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, All Krishna Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. What is this? It's better to say hi. Because I don't mean anything. It is like a parrot. I genuinely don't feel in my Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. What Dandavat Pranam? I'll say Dandavat Pranam as soon as he shuts the door. I have all complaints on that person. I said Dandavats. Dandavats matlab prostrated, full obeisances. And what I'm doing, as soon as the door is closed, this Prabhuji, yaar, sar kha raha hai. This guy doesn't know how to serve. Let me help him. I'm the mentor, so let me help him. All these things will kick in. Very, very dangerous. Yeah. So, pretty much these are the signs of most of the modern civilization that we see. They create these products that are, it creates its hankering for these, hankering for sense gratification, enjoyment. I want honor in the society. Let me be known that I am the most richest person. Let me be known that I am the greatest cook. Let me be known that I am the greatest garland maker. Let me be known that as I am the wisest person. Yeah, like that. So all these things are signs of mode of passion. Yeah? Then comes the mode of tamas. Tamas is exactly opposite of mode of goodness. Literally, what people say what the truth is appears exactly as a false, and what appears to be false is exactly appears as a truth. And the people are in the mode of ignorance. They are completely completely like lazy, and they are ignorant, lethargic. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah. Maya tak, this is all three are Maya only. This is, like I said, class A, class B, class C. All are Maya only. But this is worse. Yeah, you're right. This is the worst. That guy thinks the truth is as false as truth. Laziness, lethargy, Prabhuji said. Very nice. Madness. They are mad. And the problem with them is, it's all at 9, Okay, then we have a lot to cover, but it's good? Okay. So, So that is the sign of these people, right? Let me see if I can forward a little bit. Then Krishna speaks about from 14th shloka to 15th shloka, at least he speaks about what happens, what is the end result of these people who lead these lives. The end, at least in this life, is perceived to be in the form of death. So those who are in the mode of goodness, they actually go into the association of sages in the higher planets. They go into the higher planets. Those who are very, very fruitive and all that passion people, they usually go into the association of other fruitive people in the next life also. Mostly that falls into the realm of earthly planets. Okay? And those who are in the mode of ignorance, tamas, they go into the hellish planets, or even if they make it to the earthly planet, they will be in the animal kingdom. Yeah. So this is the end result of these activities that we do. So actually every activity, every desire, every action we are doing in our life, we are manufacturing our future dash. Fill in the blank. Destiny. Okay. Another. I am looking for a specific word. Future body. Thank you, Prabhuji. Exclusively future body, material body. Yeah.
And the place.
And the place. Yes. Place and the body. That is what is happening. Right? But Krishna also says, Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Right? But if somebody leaving their kalevaram in the last minute, if they think of Krishna, then they will attain him. Yeah. Correct. Right? So now the solution part is transcending. How do you transcend? It's very simple. I'm kind of cutting short because in the interest of time. I can expand more on these maybe in the next time. Yeah. Gunatraya correct. 14th chapter yoga. Correct, uncle. Yeah. Gunatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Yeah, that is a Sanskritam name for that chapter. Yeah. Uncle knows everything. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, uncle. Yeah, that's a very valid point. We should not just call chapter 14, chapter 14. We should give the proper name. Yeah. He's.
I want to say, see, all these three modes, now the sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas are there. Everybody is having all these three gunas.
Yeah.
Everybody is having all three gunas. So, some have more sattvic guna, some have less sattvic guna, some have more rajasic guna, some have less, some are most into tamasic guna, like that. Everybody has got.
Yeah.
By proportionate. So if you see somebody is very rajasic, he wants to be active, he wants to make money, he wants to go there, he wants here, he wants to start an industry, he wants to like that. He's a rajasic. Some people are very pious, quiet, they want to help people, they want to do all sattvic qualities. They have more sattvic. And some have tamasic. Most of them are tamasic to be, see how that we don't want to get up in the morning, we don't want to do chanting and all stuff, that is all tamasic. So we must increase the tamas, go to rajas, and rajas we must reduce it, go to sattvic. So we try to increase to be more sattvic than rajasic or than tamasic. So our aim is to go into the sattvic nature, which is very serene, very beautiful, very peaceful, very happy and all that. That's sattvic guna. So we don't get disturbed by anything at all. We are very stable and all that. We are with Lord Krishna. So that sattvic guna is very extremely important.
Wow, Haribol. No, wow, Haribol. You summarize so well. Very nice. Thank you, uncle. Thank you for adding that. So that is the nature. Now, there is a danger, even especially in the society. We are living in a society, right? And in this society, we have, especially like Prabhuji said, lot of these people are in the tamasic gun. And these tamasic people, they are the so-called celebrities. They are so-called celebrities in the society. And they are becoming role models and heroes in the lives of the youth. And they actually, the problem with them is they actually will challenge our position, as a sadhaka, I am doing my chanting, and these guys will come and bombard us and challenge every single day with their isms, their theories, and really bewilder us, and we don't have answers for this. That's very, very important that we, so for example, you are seeing here, and this Ramayan guy, right? What was his name? Arun, right? Or, especially people who know from Telugu land, NTR, look at this NTR, he played so many roles of Krishna and all this. You won't believe, in my childhood, I went to Vijayawada, in one of my friend's place, the deity of Krishna is NTR's deity. On the altar. You won't believe, that much famous he was. But, this guy, see, these are the people who are, like, in Mahabharata, for example, Dushta Chatushtayam, who are they? Duryodhana, Dushasana, Karna, Shakuni. These four are the worst people, worst characters according to Shastra. They are called Dushta. Guess what this guy is doing? He made a movie called Dana Veera Shura Karna, glorifying Karna, and in that he plays 6 or 7 roles. It's a major hit movie. As Krishna, as Karna, as Bhima, so many roles. And I mean, I was a big fan of that movie. There is a dialogue in that goes for 16 pages, non-stop, one shot. It's very difficult. Such huge, amazing movie in general. But what is the purport of the movie? That Karna is great. Karna is great. These are the celebrities. They will employ all the resources, all the money, everything to make their theories. A villain as a hero. In Tamil Nadu, I know that there is a sect of people who consider Ravana as great. How many of you know that? Yeah, Ravana. Ravana is great. So these are the things. This guy is Nagarjuna, of course. Now his dad is another famous South Indian actor, A.N.R. That guy did so many devotional movies. So many. But what is his philosophy in life? He is an atheist, pakka atheist. You know that, right? He's a pakka atheist, doesn't believe in God. So these are the celebrities. They will do anything like this. But their lifestyle. No achar, only prachar. Only achar. No achar, only prachar or eat achar. That's what their lifestyle is. You can't even, that this Krishna guy, you look at, if you see his other movies and all that, he's Bengali, right? No? So, but his movies, other movies are nonsensical movies. But he's doing Krishna role. So, you can see, these guys will give huge, see, look at what Shah Rukh Khan is saying. I feel very strongly about souls who are misguiding people in the name of religion. What right he has to speak about religion? Huh? Yeah, no knowledge. What right he has? He himself is a son or somebody got captured in that drug case. He is feeling so misguided. And somebody, one of these Amir Khans and some Khans said also that, that Hindus don't have, what is that? Patience. What is it? Intolerance.
And he went for the Turkey's president's home. When the Turkey is doing a lot of mischievous activities against Bharat.
See? Amir Khan. This guy, this Kamal Hassan is again very famous guy. What is he saying? People ask me, is yours an atheistic principle? Boldly I reply, no, atheism is my tool. Humanism is my principle. What humanitarianism? See, for somebody who is a devotee of the Lord, humanitarianism is a byproduct. Let's say somebody comes into your home, breaks your door, straight comes to your kitchen, opens your refrigerator, takes all the food and distributes to everybody and says, I'm Mahan. What do you call him? Mad? Thief. He is a thief. He is breaking into your home and giving all your valuables to others, and he is saying, I am great. You understand? You understand the Tirupati temple, TTD, distributes every single day 3 lakhs of prasadam, high quality prasadam. Do they advertise every single day? Huh? If our Warren Buffett or who is the Microsoft guy, what's his name? Bill Gates. If he does one thing, there's a huge newspaper on CNN.com, CNBC, first thing. He's a philanthropist, of course. I'm not, okay, please do not get me wrong that I am criticizing them. They're doing great work, no doubt. But is always looking for stamp, recognition. Right?
This guy is saying like a Chola was not a Hindu.
Yeah. He will say all nonsensical things. Yeah. So,
Ram Naikar is there, one DK fellow, before DMK, DK. His name is Ram Naikar. And he burns all the idols of, he's an atheist, big atheist.
yeah.
His name is Rama.
What is in Rama? Yeah, you see all these things. So, humanitarianism is a natural, a devotee, ISKCON, distributes lakhs and lakhs of prasadam plate. And no, who gives prasadam? Itna nahi hai. Full plate. One of my friend came to one of the ISKCON time, and that time he saw quinoa, he saw paneer. Arey, who is giving in a mass scale quinoa, yaar? Quinoa मतलब वो quinoa जो भी बोलते हैं ना, it's a rice of bag, 5 pounds of quinoa versus rice 5 pounds of rice, which one is expensive? And they are giving in a prasadam plate. Every day it comes in the news. Oh, we did this much. Nahi. So humanitarian, what kind of, they don't have any right, and we have this guy. This his name is
మీరు నాస్తికులు కదా? మీరు దేవుని నమ్మరు. ఓకే, నమ్మకపోవడానికి రీజన్ ఏమైనా ఉందా సార్?
కన్వీనియన్స్ అని. ఎందుకంటే దేవుని నమ్మితే నేను చాలా పాపాలు చేయలేను.
ఓహో.
So what he said is, he asked, the interviewer asking, are you an atheist? He said, proudly, yeah, I'm an atheist. Now he said, why are you an atheist? So he's saying, just for the convenience sake.
ఓకే.
నాకు పాపాలు చేయడానికి ఇష్టం ఉంటుంది కాబట్టి దేవుని నమ్మను.
పాపాలు చేయటం కోసం
I love doing sinful activities. Hence, because if I go to dharmic way, I can't do it. Hence, for my convenience sake, I am an atheist.
దేవుని నమ్మట్లేదు మీరు?
ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళ దృష్టిలో పాపం ఏంటనేది, ఇప్పుడు పాపం అనేది రిలేటివ్ వర్డ్ కదా. మీరు ఎవరి దృష్టిలో,
ఓకే,
ఇప్పుడు దేవుని నమ్మిన కాడి నుంచి పాపాలు చేసిన వాళ్ళు గిల్ట్ ఫీల్ అవ్వాలి.
ఓకే.
దాన్ని దేవుని నమ్మకపోతే మా ఇష్టం వచ్చినట్టు బతకచ్చు. అందుకని
If you don't believe in God, then you can happily live the way you want.
కన్వీనియన్స్ కోసం నేను ఆ పద్ధతి అవలంబించాను.
For convenience sake, I have adopted
ఒక
atheism.
రకంగా కరోనా లాంటిది ఇట్లా నమ్మకం ఒక మెసేజ్ అనుకోవచ్చు అండి, దేవుడు పంపిన దీని అనుకోవచ్చా?
నా ఫీలింగ్ ఏంటంటే
Is corona a result of the God? In one sense it is, because he's talking about the 3 tapatrayas. What are they? Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. Misery is caused by one's own body and self. Misery is caused by one's other living entities, and misery is caused by nature. So corona falls into which category?
It's still being investigated.
It's still being. So it is, at the end of the day, it falls into the category of other living entities, because corona itself is a living organism. Yeah, at least. Yeah, and nature also.
ఇప్పుడు దేవుడా, నేచరా, లేకపోతే ఏంటా అనేది మనకి ఏదో ఒక అన్ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ థింగ్ అనేది జరుగుతూనే ఉంటుంది. సునామీ వస్తుంది, ఎర్త్క్వేక్ వస్తుంది, తుఫాన్ వస్తుంది. అలాగే కరోనా అని ఇంకొకటి ఆ జాబితాలో జాయిన్ అయ్యింది. అఫ్కోర్స్ ఫస్ట్ టైం జరిగింది కాబట్టి మనం ఇంత విపరీతమైన ఒక సిచ్యువేషన్ ఏర్పడింది.
ఓకే.
సో మన కంట్రోల్ అనేది ఏదైనా సరే అది నేచర్ నుంచి వచ్చింది. అలాంటి
Anything that is not in our control has come from the nature. So he's accepting, being an atheist. See, this is the thing. No atheist can be purely 100% atheist. Okay?
అప్పుడు దేవుడు సృష్టి అవుతుంది అది.
ఓకే.
యా.
So now he's saying, all these things are the results of the creation of the God only, right? Just now he said, I don't believe in God. for convenience sake. Now he's saying all that.
ఇప్పుడున్న దేవుళ్ళు అందరిలో మీకు నచ్చిన దేవుడు అంటే ఎవరు పవర్ఫుల్ అంటారండి?
Among all the deities that are there, who is the most favorable deity for you? Is a question. See, this guy is also asking all nonsensical. Because you have nonsensical questions, the so-called theisms, this is called Ramoism. He has a huge fan following. The reason I brought this up is because this guy has a huge fan following in India about this so-called all these nonsensical things.
సి దానికి నా టెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మనుషులు అందరికన్నా క్వాలిటీ లైఫ్ ఎవరికి ఉంది? అమెరికాలో ఉంది. మిలిటరీ మైట్ కానీ, ఎకనామిక్ మైట్ కానీ, హై స్టాండర్డ్ క్వాలిటీ ఆఫ్ లైఫ్ కానీ, మొత్తం ప్రపంచంలో అందరూ కలిసి ఏ దేశానికి వెళ్ళాలని ఉందరా అంటే అమెరికా పేరు చెప్తారు కదా. అప్పుడు అమెరికన్స్ నమ్మే దేవుడు బెస్ట్ దేవుడు అని నా ఫీల్.
So his answer is, he's applying the democratic aspect. The whole world is after America, whether it's military power, whether it is financial thing, everything. So whatever these Americans believe in God, that God is the powerful God in my opinion. So see his logic.
ఏది ఆ లెక్కలో.
ఓకే.
కాకపోతే ఇండివిజువల్
He is a famous Bollywood, Tollywood director. Other guy is some, who knows? I'm interviewer.
గా మీరు ఎవరైనా సరే ఒక దేవుని నమ్మటానికి ముఖ్య కారణం ఏంటి? ఒక వాళ్ళ ఇంట్లో ఆ దేవుని పూజించారు, లేకపోతే ఫలానా దేవుడికి దండం పెట్టినప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఏదో మంచి జరుగుతుంటుంది, అప్పటి నుంచి అలా ఫాలో అయిపోతూ ఉంటారు. దట్ ఈస్ ద యూజువల్ హ్యాబిట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్. ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఇప్పుడు రెహమాన్ ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి, ఏఆర్ రెహమాన్ దిలీప్ తన పేరు, తను హిందూ. ఇప్పుడు సాయిబాబా బాలాజీ టెంపుల్కి వెళ్ళే అతను ఒక పర్టికులర్ టైంలో ఇస్లాం తీసుకున్నాడు. ఇస్లాం తీసుకోగానే సూపర్ హిట్ అయిపోయాడు.
ఓకే.
So he's saying people actually accept religion only because depending upon their experiences, if they got something good happening, then they'll take that up. For example, he's quoting A.R. Rahman. A.R. Rahman was originally Dilip. At some point of time, he converted into Islam and he became very famous. So now you see. So
ఓకే, అప్పుడు ఒకసారి నేను మోహన్ బాబు గారికి చెప్పాను, సో మీరేమో సాయిబాబా అని అంటున్నారు, రెహమాన్ అలా అనేవాడు, ఇస్లాం తీసుకుంటే అతనేమో పెద్ద హిట్ అయిపోయాడు, అది ట్రై చేసి కదా అని చెప్పా. అరే భలే చెప్తావయ్యా వర్మ. పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే మీకు దేవుడి మీద భక్తి నిజంగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళందరికీ భయం ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, అవునా కాదా?
those people who have lot of devotion on the Lord, the point is that they are very scared people. This is thing. Now you'll be surprised. He's saying these people are scared, very very scared. You know, little he does know that fearful. Sorry, not scared. Sorry, scared is the wrong word. Very fearful people. बहुत fearful hai. No, they are not fearful actually. The devotees of the Lord are not fearful. Bhajahu re mana Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare. Abhaya. They take the shelter of the most fearless feet of the Lord. Hence they are most fearless people on the planet. Devotees are the most fearless people.
Biggest war have been done by the Vaishnavas.
In Russia, those who have read the book Salted Bread, how many of you read that book? What they have done for Krishna consciousness. In Russia, you cannot even utter the word God. Not even God, G. You cannot even utter G. What they have done. And how much of this thing they took. And this guy is saying they are most timid, fearful people.
ఓకే.
సో మీకు వన్ ఆఫ్ ద రీజన్
కన్ఫ్యూజన్లోనే ఉంటారా?
100%.
ఓకే.
మీరు అడిగిన క్వశ్చన్కి ఆన్సర్ చేయకపోతే, ఇప్పుడు రెహమాను షిర్దీ బాబాని బాలాజీని వదిలేసి అల్లాని తీసుకుంటే ఇంకా పెద్ద హిట్ అంటే హిందువులు ఏం ఆన్సర్ ఇస్తారు నాకు దానికి?
Because Rahman has left Sai Baba, Lord Shiva and all and went to Allah and he became more famous. So what is, that means Allah is more powerful. So what these Hindus will give an answer to me that, for that. That's his question.
ఓకే ఓకే
మీరు ఇంకోటి గమనించారా, హిందువులు క్రిస్టియన్స్ అవుతారు, ముస్లిమ్స్ అవుతారు, వాళ్ళు ఎప్పుడు హిందువులు అవరు.
He's saying, if my greatest observation is, I have seen Hindus becoming Christians, Hindus becoming Muslims, but I have never seen Muslims becoming Christians, Muslims becoming Christians becoming Indian, Hindus. He doesn't know. This fool doesn't know. How is that truth? So that is that is the point. That's why they. So this is the reason why. So that's why Srila Prabhupada never approached as a conversion thing. It was transformation, and he did not give funds. So much of funds. There's so much of funds and money has been given just so that you convert your religion, faith into something. Especially in Kerala, especially in now it's happening in Tamil Nadu, it's happening in Andhra also now. Huge convergence. And this guy is saying, I've never seen anybody. But this is the reason. Srila Prabhupada was once asked, was telling, Britishers came and stole everything away from us. But they forgot one greatest jewel. They forgot one jewel. Not the jewel that they have right now, Kohinoor. The jewel of Vedic wisdom in the form of Bhagavad Gita. I came back to give that. They forgotten it. And what was Jagannath Rajayatra that was happening only in Odisha? The Lord of Jagannath is now all over the world. And what did he saw? This guy is saying, I've never seen anybody. This is like, a frog. Upamandu. A frog in this one is thinking that all I know is what I know.
నేను ఎప్పుడు వినలా క్రిస్టియన్.
ना अभी वो मुंबई में आपके इलाके में ही है अभी वो कहीं पे तो रहेगा.
హిందూ మతం తీసుకుంటాం కానీ ముస్లిం హిందూ మతం తీసుకుంటాం. మీరు అన్నారు ఎప్పుడైనా అది?
ఓకే, ఎందుకంటారు? ఎందుకు జరుగుతుంది?
Why do you think he is asking?
ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు మనకన్నా ఎక్కువ దైవభక్తులు కాబట్టి.
Because they are more better devotees than ourselves.
ఓకే
అంతే కదా.
ఓకే
మనకి దైవం మీద వాళ్ళకన్నా తక్కువ డిగ్రీలో ఉంటుంది. అందుకనే మనం మతాలు మారుస్తూ ఉంటాం.
Because we have less love on our deities, hence we can easily provoked into others. In fact, in one sense, I agree with this, because he is seeing a lot of anomalies. There is no unity, there is no understanding among our Hindus, and we are becoming rascals, and anything can lure us to change anything. That way, I agree with this fellow. Yeah, but that nobody knows, na Pranataji. So the new generation. So hence the reason I'm. Yeah. Correct.
అదే
కానీ వీళ్ళల్లో ఇప్పుడు మీరు చెప్తున్నాను కదా సార్, ఇప్పుడు ABC కేటగిరీ అనుకుందాం.
యా.
ఏ దేవుడికి ఒక దేవుడు, బి దేవుడికి
Correct.
సి దేవుడికి అనుకుందాం. వీళ్ళు మా దేవుడు అంటే గొప్ప, మా దేవుడు అంటే గొప్ప అని చెప్పేసి కొట్టుకుంటూ ఉంటారు కదా. నిజంగా వాళ్ళ వాదంలో ఏది కరెక్ట్ అంటారు?
So let's say there are three kinds of people: A, B, C, three categories, and A likes one God, B likes one God, C likes one God, and they each one says that my God is better. Everybody, they have their own theory, they have all the philosophy, everything they have. So what do you think about them? That's the question. These are the questions that we are bombarded in our life. Actually, we will be bombarded at workplace by our kids. We ourselves sometimes have these doubts. We don't know.
See, దానికి
Because we don't know the answer, what we will say? Hey, chup, don't ask like that question. For the kids. But these are the things we have to have an open conversation about.
అదండి నేను చెప్పేది. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ మనకి వరల్డ్లో ప్రూవ్ అయింది ఏంటి, క్రిస్టియన్ జీసస్ క్రైస్ట్కి సంబంధించిన దేశాలన్నీ అందరికన్నా మోస్ట్ పవర్ఫుల్ పొజిషన్ ఉన్నాయి. యూరప్ అన్న, యుఎస్ అన్నది. చైనా ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ దేవుడే లీడ్ అనుకోండి. దేవుడు లేని రాజ్యం కూడా చాలా పవర్ఫుల్.
కమ్యూనిజం.
యా, కమ్యూనిస్ట్ డజంట్ బిలీవ్ ఇన్ గాడ్. దెన్ దాని తర్వాత మిడిల్ ఈస్ట్.
So basically, I'll forward a little bit. But what is he saying is, if you really look at world statistics, the most of the countries that are very prosperous economically, very grown nicely, are mostly they are Christians. Whether you take Europe, France, or America, his theory, Then the next biggest powerful countries are Muslim countries. There the Islam is more famous. People have adapted to that. And in fact, even there are godless communist countries like China, they are also powerful. So he's saying when all these things are powerful, what he is basically saying is Christianity is the best. Because Hindus are very minority now. We are not even powerful. So that is his theory. He is applying a democratic view. Democracy wins, right? That's what it is, right? Jiska jo powerful log hai, that is the best. And this is the thing, that's why Srila Prabhupada says, there are millions of stars, but there is one moon. There is IIT, India mein IIT hai, top-notch school. Very few people go. And there is ITI. ITI मतलब 10th grade pass certificate की ज़रूरत नहीं है. उसमें भी जाके there are people who got into government electronic engineering positions with ITI. दोनों रहेंगे, वो आराम से डेस्क पे सोएगा. जिंदगी और ये कहेगा. So it is not about quantity. This guy is saying quantity wins. That's what is the theory, right? But it is the quality that wins. It is quality that matters.
So it's not that, I'm saying better listen to people on the other side. I'm saying there is.
No, I didn't understand. So there are a lot of people like him.
No, I'm saying to some extent, if you listen to 1-2 minutes, you know the rest of the gist.
Yeah.
Like what is the context and everything.
Correct.
But I'm saying there's probably more to learn from the other side rather than.
This is the thing. We should not. Uncle, yes, please.
I want to say something. See, Hinduism is a very beautiful religion and all. And very few people really follow that. And unlike Muslim and other religions, they're very, very particular about their following the religion and all. We don't have much of any unity and all that. In that respect, where Krishna consciousness and Prabhupada, they brought a beautiful thing. They brought everybody together. But they're very few. But we must do, our aim is to expand the whole thing. That this, what we are enjoying and all that, we must enjoy to many, many people. So then that will be very good. That's what we should try that. We must, by our own example, we must expand it. By our own example, we must expand it. But once I follow it, then the people will get follow. Prabhupada did it, we all follow. So we do it,
Yeah. So what he says is, actually he says one more thing. He says that a lot of other things, I think we don't have time, so we'll skip. So he says devotees are the most egoistic people on the planet. He says the devotees are the most egoistic people. And his reasoning is, you go to Tirupati, you stand in the line for hours and hours. And what you are saying? Among all the living entities, you are saying, my Lord, just to take care of me. Just to take care of me. Most selfish people are these so-called devotees. And they are fit for nothing people. He'll use all the words. He'll say they are fit for nothing people, just sit in the thing. No productive work they do. So these are the things that he says. But what? In general, Tirupati, he quotes. So indirectly what he is saying is poking at Hinduism, and he is using the other religions as a tool, just to compare. Because when you compare only, then people will say, exercise yoga. So the reason I am bringing all this is, these are the modes of material nature. This is a perfect example of mode of ignorance. Tamasic. Highly ignorant people. So if somebody comes and tells you that the devotees are the most egoistic people, what can you say? You say that, exactly ulta. You see that? Because he says you are praying only for you. In one sense, he is correct too, because everybody is only after them. Now today in the world, very, very ignorant people, the so-called practitioners of so-called dharmic jivan also, they are doing all these things. You go to the temple, you do this thing, and then immediately you start blaspheming everybody else. Even, I'm telling you, even in the Krishna conscious movement also, everywhere. So in one sense, this guy is saying, this is the fact that this exists in the society is a shameful act, shameful thing that we should all be taking responsibility for. And if we only change when we genuinely change ourselves, then these so-called isms will be gone. Otherwise, the modes of material nature, it is very, very crucial. When you may be thinking, in satsang, 20 minutes you are spending time on this. We cannot run away from this. We cannot run away from this. Bhagavatam also speaks, even though it is a Purana Mamalam, it also speaks about, for example, there will be quotations of explaining the beauty of the lady. If you don't hear it from Bhagavatam, you will ask elsewhere, you will get it from somewhere else. So this is the very, very crucial aspect among the Sangha, to be very open and discuss these things. And because these are the daily challenges that we face every single day. Right? So devotees are the most magnanimous. In fact, the Sanatan Dharmas has this philosophy of Vishwamanava Saubhratrutvam, universal brotherhood. We always end with a prayer to Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha. How come devotees are the most egoistic people? In fact, the sages of Naimisharanya, they are saying, what is the good that the humanity can do? This is the question they are asking. They are worried about all of us. 5,000 years back ago, 5 millennium years back ago also. These are the concerns of the sages of Naimisharanya. These are the concerns of the great Acharyas. Srila Prabhupada, he is worried about you, me and all of us. And what does this guy? He is saying devotees are the egoistic people. So this is exactly mode of ignorance. So this mode of ignorance people, not only that we shield ourselves in the mode of ignorance, we should also shield from other agencies. This is an extension of Tapatraya. Misery is caused by other living entities for devotees means this. Misery is caused by these called isms, which will come and show up in workplace. They will come in the form of our kids. They will come in the form of our relatives. They don't know. They'll challenge us.
No, recently you might have seen like the Kerala story movie, right? That they have shown the same thing. Like the families are not teaching those values to their kids. And they are not telling them about the dharma. And that's the reason other dharmic person comes and they say, oh, तुम्हारा राम, वो क्या अपनी पत्नी को ये कर दिया, रोने लगा. ऐसा थोड़ी भगवान थोड़ी होता है. So she does not have any answer to say.
Correct.
And that's how slowly she gets in with that Islam. So unless and until families follow, and
Yeah.
families, cultivate that for the kids,
Correct.
it is not happening. So Amog Leela Prabhu,
Yeah.
Amog Leela Prabhu and Ishwar Gawaran Prabhu, all these people, they are making debugging videos for this, for their well-being.
If we can't remember them.
We don't remember them for the well.
Correct. Yeah, we don't.
We don't remember them for the well. We don't remember them for the kind of achievements they did. But only we remember them only for dharma. Right? So normally that is also another observation. Like whenever you talk in the spirituality, misconception is there. Like in spirituality, if you want to live, you live only in the poverty. Or I don't want this. But the other way, we don't see that. If we have more, we are not having this for ourselves, but we are creating wealth for the samaj and for the good world. So sometimes there is a thin line though. Like otherwise people feel like having wealth, that for what? What is the intention? What is the purpose? That is also important.
Ambarish Prabhu. I meant from Bhagavatam. And even this Ambarish Prabhu also. Ford Motor. Yeah, both of them. There's a reason why that name is there. So Ambarish Maharaj, he had so much of wealth, but he was a great devotee. He is in fact the one who has perfected all Navavidha Bhakti. Just imagine having all the riches, yet you are perfect not in one bhakti, all the Navavidha Bhaktis. So how much great he is. Did that wealth become a blocker for him? Did not. So you are right, Prabhuji. So that's why I said carefully, I'm not talking about the devotees. I'm not talking about the devotees who have wealth, but they are utilizing in the service of the Lord. But I'm talking about, outside people. Yeah. So I think I'll stop here. We'll do some little kirtan.
Hare Krishna, Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Kala Chanji Radhe Jaya Radha Kala Chanji Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Hari Naam Sankirtan ki Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So let us one more time thank Ashish Prabhuji and Namita Mataji for hosting the program today by 3 times chanting Haribo, Haribo, Haribo. There is one more reason to say Haribol today, because the final epitome of Krishna consciousness, or at least the real starting of Krishna consciousness, happens when we take the shelter of Shri Guru. And today we have one among our devotees. There is one Mataji, there is actually 3 Matajis who have taken the shelter of His Holiness Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki! And we have today Pratibha Mataji, who has now become Pratibha Shakti Mataji by taking shelter at His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. So Pratibha Shakti Mataji ki! His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj ki! శ్రీల ప్రభుపాదకి అనంత కోటి వైష్ణవ వృందకి నితాయ్ గౌర ప్రేమానందే హరి హరి బో.
So we also have today's Kalyani Mataji's birthday. And this week we have birthday of Mayu, Maithili, Nitya. Am I missing anybody? Jia. So we have all the cakes here. So we request all the birthday aunties and uncles. Any uncles birthday?